All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Date My Friends with me, your host, Taylor P. Miller. This is a show where every episode I'll have an amazing, hot, eligible, single man, woman, non-binary person on the show. And if you want to take them out on a date, you just submit through the link in our bio and shoot your shot. So today we have one of my favorite people. I've known this girl for a long time. She does stand up all over the country. She DJs on vinyl all over the country. I think I can safely say that you're my coolest friend.
Dang. Okay.
Welcome, everyone. Nina Tarr.
Hi.
Hello. Welcome to Date My Friends.
Thanks for having me. I'm a little nervous.
Oh, don't be.
Yeah.
It's just a conversation. We're going to let our listeners get to know you.
Okay.
And this is our first bi-coastal guest.
Oh,
so
shit.
people can take you out in New York and LA.
Yes, preferably New York because that's my primary residence. But
Okay.
I also feel like I get hit on much more in a city that I don't live in because
You don't give a fuck.
you know what I say? The best perfume you can wear is I don't live here. That is.
It's so
I
true.
feel like there's an energy because when I was back and forth for so long when I lived primarily in Los Angeles, when I would go to New York, I was like, wow, every guy here is obsessed with me. And then I come here and now I'm like, I'm getting asked out by people like, Miss, how long you in town for? And
because
you're
it's
like,
no
whoa.
commitment. They're like, yeah, we
Yeah,
can just
they want
hang.
to smash.
Yeah.
It's fine. But the thing is, guys of New York, I'm also down to just smash. Okay, so I like how every guy
You're like,
thinks
I'm easy in both coasts.
this guy. No, I'm not easy. I'm easy if the person is cool as hell and I'm sexually attracted to them.
Okay, so not
Okay?
easy. You're hard.
No, I just have standards. And here's the thing. No, I have no type. Just be like, it's a cool, open-minded, like, and in terms of hotness, it is nothing. It is not specific to a look. It's a vibe.
I could not agree more.
There's,
Okay,
I
have a
love hot
confession.
ugly. What?
I haven't told anyone this yet. I went on 2 dates last night, back to
Last
back.
night, Charlotte York. Literally, that's what happened in fucking Sex and the City season 3.
It just kind of happened because I met this guy and he told me he had a work event last night, so I planned a first date with someone else. And then but I really liked him after our first date. So then he texted me and he was like, "I'm free tonight. What are you up to?" And I was going on a first date, so I just lied to him. I was like, "I'm getting drinks with a friend."
I mean, that's not a lie. That's fine. You are getting
I
drinks
was
with a friend.
getting drinks with a friend.
You know?
Friend that I met on a dating app.
Yes, exactly. That's fine. That's
But
fine.
all this is to say, the guy that I met drinks with, so conventionally attractive. Like, big guy, facial hair, like, just conventionally attractive. Other guy, not so conventionally attractive, but hot vibe.
Exactly.
Dripping with Riz.
that is so much more
Went into
important.
the bathroom on the first date, texted the Rizzy mid guy, and then went to his house.
Wow, how do you juggle? Here we go. I mean, I've done something like that before for sure. Like maybe I spent the night with like some guy I was seeing and then like late, I don't know, the next day or something like that I had like another date. I don't know, there's crossover when you're single. That's the thing. It's like I'll go from like
You're a free
committed.
agent.
Yeah, and I go from like I am like a pretty hardcore committed person. So I'll be with somebody for like, I was in a relationship for like, gosh, my like dating history has been like, it's like let's say 2 years, single for a bit, year and a half, another year and a half, then single for a while, 4 years, single for a while, and then the last one was just 3 years.
Okay.
So I go, and then so that's the thing, I'll commit to somebody that I love for like years, and then you try to make it work out, and then when you're single, it's like everywhere in between. I'm like, I'll have a one night stand, but I'll also like have like, and then you date, you have flings and whatnot, and
Yeah.
like you got to try. Also, here's the thing, it's like, when you're shopping around, okay, your time is valuable. I feel like dating around while you're dating is more important because you're like, hey, I'm kind of trying to see. Okay, if you just date one person at a time, this is what happens.
First of all, you get super attached.
You get attached, but also you're trying to look at them like exclusively and have them fit into your mold or you'll fit into theirs. When you have a variety of people, and look, this is all transparent. There's nothing, you're not having like, you're the only one, babe. Okay? You're like,
No.
yeah, it's casual. We're
It's
dating.
known.
You're seeing other people.
Until
I'm
we
seeing other
talk
people.
about it.
It's all good. It's all
Yeah.
gravy. You do your thing, I'll do my thing. It's all good. But what I'm saying is that if you're dating multiple people like at once and kind of see, then you figure out the right person for you as opposed to making somebody into the mold. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We're like, I'm just seeing this one guy and I really hope he's it. And then you just are kind of squishing yourself into this, square peg in a round hole maybe.
Yeah. I totally
so
agree.
It's better to date around and be like, hey, I like this guy.
I used to be very like exactly how you're describing, where I was just trying to make it work with whoever. And
it's
now
not a
I'm
good
like,
method.
You know what? There's no reason to do that. Like if I don't have a title, if we're not exclusive, like I'm gonna date around. I don't like sleeping with a bunch of people.
No, I don't do that.
But hanging out with a bunch of people, that's fine.
I make out. I actually wait a while to have sex. That's like a big thing for me. I will wait unless I don't like you. If I don't really like you, then I'll fuck you because I don't really care about seeing you again. But if I really like you, I'll wait date 5. Like I really make it.
I'm like a date 3 girly, but I'm trying to extend it because I do think
you could do other stuff. Like date 3, I'll be like, oh, this is how you trap a man. Just give them the best blowjob of their life and be like, that's it. I don't know. I just wait for
I
the
went to his house last
sex.
night and nothing even I mean, it was kind of crazy that I went to his house because we had only met one other time briefly, but it was just like it was late at night. He was putting together furniture. It just made sense. And when I got there, I'm like, hey, I don't usually do this. I don't usually hang out with a guy at their house on the second time. I don't want to give you the wrong idea. And he was like, oh yeah, no, like I just wanted to hang out. Everything's closed right now. Like it's fine. We didn't even kiss, just talked. It was nice. I did think we would kiss. I was kind of surprised we didn't kiss.
Yeah, now a lot of times, sometimes guys are a little too careful to be like, can I? Like,
I think I scared him because I was like, I really don't want to give you the wrong idea. I just want to hang out. And then he was kind of like,
yeah, I think you have to like kind of say something like, hey, I mean, what I'll do is I'll be like, hey, I just want to make it clear, like, down to have you over, but like, I won't sleep. Like, I don't want to have sex yet. I like kind of wait for a while for that. And that's just what I say.
That's good wording.
I just say but I want them to kiss me. I want to kiss.
I know.
You know?
I know. And then he drove me home at 2 a.m, no kiss.
Oh, you should be like, then you can do this next time you go. Should we kiss? That's how you say it. Actually, my friend, can I tell you some amazing?
Wouldn't it be so fun if we made out right now?
Literally, my friend had me do something the other day that was one of the coolest moves, and I want to share this on your pod because honestly,
my listeners need to know.
This was like fucking, oh my God, what a brilliant move. So we like were out like a few nights ago and met this guy immediately. Like him and I hit it off, but like with friends, and he's just like hands me his phone and he's like, put your number in, because I was like, oh, I think we're gonna go soon. He's like, let me get your number.
Okay.
I put my number in, I save it, I go text me your name. So he texts me his like full name, and then because that's the thing, if you do it at night and you're like, is he ever gonna hit me up? Is he gonna hit me up like the next day? What do? Just wait for like until they're maybe like going to bed or something like that. Maybe it's like 1 a.m. and just like the message of the name.
So good.
Just like, because it goes like, you're not saying hey.
Your name pops up on their
screen. And you're just like, oh, I got your number. Remember me?
That's such a good move.
Yeah, just like
I have a very similar tip that I did once, and this is how you take someone from a friend to a lover, because I think that's a very hard line to cross for a lot of people.
I'm never, ever, ever interested unless you meet me.
This was the last time I ever did it.
Friend to lover pipeline, never. When a man meets me, you're obsessed with me and you want to fuck me, and if you don't, if we're just buddies, we will remain buddies.
No, but what happened was I think he felt that way and I didn't for a while, and then I got some COVID goggles and I was like,
okay. Yeah.
But I didn't know how to do it because we had been friends for years. So this is what I did. And he has no idea that I did this. You disapprove.
No,
This is the last time that
friends to dating is just, I mean, some people do it. Group. Some people do it. And honestly, I know people that have done it and they end up being with that person for years and years. And it's amazing. Maybe it's my own insecurity that I'm like, when you meet me, you have to immediately be like, who is that woman? I'm very sexually attracted to her.
But what if you don't feel that way about them at first? Or do you usually feel that way about immediately?
No, I mean, that usually, if I don't feel that way, that'll never transform.
Okay.
I've never
it like, can for me.
Oh, it's never happened for me. Okay. I've never, like, when my instinct is pretty, sometimes I'm like, maybe, yeah, this guy's attractive, but I'm not really, it's not, and then I'll be like, I'll try it though. And then I try it and go, yeah, my first instinct was right. It's like, I usually, my first instinct's usually pretty good. I usually stay consistent with my initial feeling.
Can grow for me. Again, it's like if the guy's kind of mid, and then over time you're like, oh, he's really funny, he's really smart, he can get cuter.
Different strokes. Okay, so what'd you do?
Oh, okay. So we were hanging out at his house, and I knew I wanted to hook up with him, but we had been hanging out at each other's houses for years, and I was like, how do I do this?
Yeah.
So I fake checked my phone. I pretend I got a text, and I just went, and he was like, what are you laughing at? And I was like, all acting. And I was like,
okay, Meryl Streep.
Our mutual friend, let's call her Carly. I was like, oh, Carly just asked me if we're hooking up.
Oh my God. That is so sick. That's sick in
blank phone, lock screen.
Oh my God, fully? Like, I don't know. I guess it says the stars are aligned.
And then he goes, that's so funny. What are you going to tell her? And I was like, and I was like, and then I go, have you ever thought about me that way?
Wow.
And he was like, wait, are you really asking me that right now? I'm like, yeah, I'm just curious. Like, have you ever thought about me as more than a friend?
This is fucking brilliant.
Isn't that crazy?
Women need to run. Okay, we're literally spies and secret agents and fucking commanders and masters. Are you kidding?
Blank phone. Yeah. And then I'm like, yeah, have you ever thought about me that way? And he's like, yeah, I think you're so hot. And I'm like, okay, should we hook up?
Oh my dear Lord.
We did not, we were not friends after that. So I don't know if I suggest it, but if you think you have a better shot at sustainability than I do.
Maybe it's somebody who like, okay, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I could see that working. I don't know if I'll be in a position where, yeah, it's usually kind of easy for me, which is nice. Like I usually am just like, I'll be like, oh, like, I don't know. It's not, I just have never been friends with somebody and then been like, okay, yeah, let's go.
I think COVID did it because I was just like, I wasn't on dating apps and I was kind of potting with him. And so it was like, okay, you're kind of
fair.
I'm kind of down at this point.
Fair. Yeah, I had a funny thing happen. Like, here's the thing, going back to just getting asked out randomly, it just happens in the city that you don't live in all the time. And men have what I call, like, women are actually intuitive. Like, it's something like in our biology, I believe, that kind of like makes us a little bit more capable of reading the room. I think we have a little bit more of like emotional porousness and like we can kind of, intuit things. What men have is what I call stupid intuition. And this is what happens if you're in a guy's bed. You're going to get texted by like 3 other guys. Like you're going to get texted by somebody who you haven't talked to in like 2 months.
They have a sixth sense. Or the day you stop caring about them
is when they like buy you flowers and you're like, what the fuck?
Yeah, they'll be like, hey, what are you up to? I'm like, I literally just moved on.
So this is what
if
happens.
If you texted me 3 hours ago, it might have been different.
Yes, this is what happens. But guys will have this dumb intuition where it's like when your stock is high, they're all buying. They're like, buy. And then when it's low, they're like, sell, get rid of her. So
that's so good.
Last night I was with a girlfriend and we were just like going to a bar to like a friend of a friend's birthday, and this guy's walking, like I'm getting out of the car, he's walking past, and like he's handsome and like he's like staring at me and I'm kind of staring at him because I'm like, is he familiar? Do I know? But he like looked great. And then he parked right behind me and he like gets in his car in his it's a BMW convertible and he puts the top down. Cool. I know, he puts the top down. He goes, hey, are you going to blah? Like he just like fully is like, what's up, sort of thing. And we start chatting. So I know. And we just like start chatting. I go, well, we're gonna go. He's like, it's just too young in there for me. He goes, I'm almost 40. I can't, like, I just don't want to hang out like in there. And I go, that's fair. I'm like, well, maybe you should come back in. And he's like, I can't, but I go, well, have a good one. And we're walking, and then he drives and he pulls next to me and goes, can I get your information?
Yes.
I know. And he goes, how long are you here for? I'm like,
that's
I'm
like
here for
what
like
we
a
lie
week.
and tell people how we met on Hinge.
He goes, I just bought a house in Hancock Park, and my friend's like, ugh. She's like,
date him.
No, I know. I don't know. No.
That sounds perfect.
But he's rich. So
my best friend asked someone out at a red light recently.
That's psychotic.
We pulled up next to a hot guy and he was kind of checking us out. And then she just opened her window and goes, are you single? Can I get your number? Then she ghosted him. I don't know what.
Yeah, it happens. Sometimes they'll say dumb shit and like,
No, she was just like, nah, I don't really know.
Sometimes it's fun just to like get a little rise. Like I gave somebody, I was in the grocery store and this guy comes up to me and like, he was so smooth about it though, but he was so, like I was wearing AirPods and he comes up. No, he was just like blah, blah. And I was like, what? And then he just asked me about stuff in my cart or whatever. And then he's like, well, like, can I get your number? And I was like, sure. And then he like hit me up a few times and I was like, I don't actually want to hang out with this guy.
These stories are really inspiring me because I do think hitting on people has died in the last few years.
I don't hit on people though. I make them hit up. Like, I'm a lady in waiting. If a guy doesn't approach me, I do not. I just, like your friend asking someone out, I just would never do that. The boldest I'll go if I already know that they like me, maybe I'll
ask for their Instagram and maybe like slide in later.
I'll ask for the Instagram, but that's almost like, let me just get your Instagram. Like, that could be
but
anything.
You can make it so normal, and then you can
just,
like
you're
go from
friends.
there.
You're nothing. You're a business partner. It doesn't fucking matter. I don't like. Give me your Instagram.
Is the new business card, at least for creatives, for sure.
No, it's fine.
Yeah, but no, I'm glad people are still asking each other out in person. I mean, I think there's all these events. Like, have you heard of Venice Run Club?
No, but is it a run club?
It's a run club, but it's basically a dating app. And when you go, they make you say if you're single or not. At the beginning, you have to introduce yourself and say your relationship status. And then
you have to run.
And you're running like 6 miles, and you're just like, so where are you from?
See, people get the ick with me because then I would sweat. I would look like John Candy. I would like literally fucking sweating profusely, looking like Tony Soprano peeing an orange. I would be bad.
The thing is, I went there to meet guys because I'm like, oh, cool. Like, everyone there is so hot. But the thing is, I don't run fast enough to run with the guys.
I was going to say.
So I'm just making girlfriends every time. And honestly, it's so fun. I've met really cool people, but I have enough friends. Like, I want a boyfriend, but the boys are all running.
You want a boyfriend?
Yes.
Why?
I'm ready.
Huh?
I'm ready.
You're
I've
ready?
been single for 2 years.
Okay, yeah.
It's time. I've done all the work.
I think that's
the thing.
Me.
I'm so comfortable with myself. Like,
You're ready now. I get it. I've been single now after my long relationship. Let's see. I've been single now just since like March. So
okay, no,
yeah, we lived together.
I needed some time after that. Like, it was so emotionally draining. But now I'm like
2 years after, you're like in a healed place. You're good. You're ready. I get it.
When you're ready is when you're like very comfortable alone, and I feel so comfortable alone to the point where I might be getting too comfortable alone.
No, you're so young, you'll be fine. Look, you're younger than.
Sometimes I look at myself in the mirror before bed. I'm in my satin bonnet. I have my noise machine. I have a face mask on. I'm like, how am I going to adapt to having another person here?
But that's why you want a boyfriend, because then actually you can do that with the person. Like, you can be your authentic self, your fucking like get ready for bed self. I do that with like guys I'm like dating for a few weeks. I'm like, I never sleep with makeup on. I'm in my mid-30s.
Oh, of course.
We can't do this. No, I'm always like, if we have even hooked up a few times, I'm like, I'm doing my full nighttime routine. Like, it's not just because you're here. We gotta take care of
our biggest organ.
Yeah, you want to stay here? Okay, fine. Give me 15 minutes. I've got to do some crazy shit to my face. I gotta put on a lot of ointments and creams and weird microcurrent devices.
There's steps. I gotta put minoxidil in my hair. I gotta massage it out.
You're young. You're good. You're not comfortable enough being alone. It's not too long. You'll be fine. And you're beautiful and cool. Don't worry about it. It's going to happen. And then your standards are high, which as they should be. You'll be fine.
Thank you. But yes, the boys at Venice Run Club, they're all running 7-minute miles. I'm running a 10-minute mile. So I am making friends with the girl.
What the fuck?
These are the fastest boys in the world.
So they're not even trying. They're running from pussy. They're so fast, they run away from any viable woman that can catch up to them.
That should be on the shirt. Venice Run Club, running from pussy.
Yeah, running. They're like, ah! It's like, hey guys, sorry, Devin, can you wait up? Do you actually mind just
and you try and talk
down
to them before the run, and they're doing their hip circles, their stretches,
that would give me the ick.
Their froggy position.
That if a guy did a froggy position unapologetically in public, like immediately never have sex.
They want to be the first one to finish.
Men stretching is bad for me. I'm like, stay stiff. You were Frank Sinatra walking into a room. I understand that,
but I'm like longevity. Because I don't know, my grandma fell recently, and then both my parents called me and they're like, make sure you're stretching and make sure you're trying to balance every day.
Not only that, lift weights. It's good for your bones. Gotta lift weights.
It's good for
Drink
bone
whole
density.
Milk. Everyone there's a war on whole milk. It's good for you, dude. Get that milk, get that calcium, get that cheese.
Shit. I'm lactose intolerant.
You could do it in other ways. You got to get that calcium, good for you. But that's the thing.
Spinach.
Women,
lots of calcium.
There you go. We got this. This just turned into a health. Now we're like Huberman. This is Andrew Huberman now. Like, you could biohack yourself.
Yeah, so I went there to meet a boy, but now it's pretty much just for running.
Yeah, I don't even care about me. I don't know. It's just I'm at a point right now where
You're
I'm
meeting
like,
boys on the street.
yeah, I'm having fun. I'm doing good. I don't care. I'm
But you're
super
like,
happy.
I think everyone needs that phase after a breakup for like a solid 6 months. You just need to have fun, fucking let loose.
Yeah.
Like,
But I have crushes. Like, that's the thing I do. I'm very romantic, honestly. And I think
Yeah.
a lot of, I come across as like, some like brassy lady, some harlot. But I'm such a lover. I like am very romantic. I am very sexual, but I'm really romantic. And even if I'm just like casually seeing somebody, make me feel like a lady. Like,
Yeah.
take me out, open the doors for me. Like, I think sometimes
that's become more and more important to me.
well, yes, but I think sometimes when like even if I'm just hooking up with somebody, you still need to treat me with like a lot of like care, because I'll treat you like care. It's like I think guys get confused, or they're like, oh well, like I can't really be that nice to her, she's gonna think I want to date her. I'm like, no, I just won't sleep with you anymore then. Like you have to be like, just because a guy is nice to you like doesn't mean he wants to date you. He just ought to be like, that's like my very low bar of like,
yeah,
treat
there's
me,
just a level of respect.
just be communicative. It's not even like I think they're being disrespectful. It's just what turns me on is like a man who is a gentleman and is like doing nice things, is like picking up the tab, is opening the door for me, is doing that, even if we're just fucking. And I'll make it worth your while too. Like, it's like, I'm also gonna be very good to you. And it can just be like casual sex, but it is
Do you have a favorite
reciprocity of.
Do you have a favorite like acts of service to do for a guy, like a go-to? Like, I love having a guy over and cooking together.
Oh,
and, like,
yeah, I'll cook for
pairing it
them.
with a nice wine and like
I'll absolutely cook for a
putting
guy.
on a good playlist. Like, I feel like that's how I like take care of the guy. But like, if they take me on a nice dinner, I'm like, all right, come. Like, I make my apartment so cozy. I light a bunch of candles.
I do the exact same thing, Taylor. I've done that.
That's like my favorite thing to do.
I love cooking for a guy. I will give us a little massage. I will like literally give you the best blowjob and like and swallow. I will do like that's an act of service.
Forms.
That is an act. That's an act of service. Like, I will give you a massage and also like pep you up. Like, I think sometimes like creating like a space for like
boys don't
somebody
have that
to
in
vent.
their friendships.
They
too.
don't. And like a guy to even just be like, oh, I did this thing, or like this thing sucked at work, or blah blah blah. I'm like pissed at my fucking brother because of XYZ, and just listening and being like, either like cheering them up, making a little joke about it, or like be like, I believe in you, I support you, all like
I totally agree.
I do all that stuff.
I am a male sympathizer for 2 reasons.
Male sympathizer, it sounds like.
One reason is that I feel like they're not allowed to have feelings ever, and I also feel so bad that they don't get to experience female friendships. Like, I don't think boys take care of each other the same way girls take care of each other.
No.
And so I do think that's what I like to give guys. Like, I'm just restating what you just said in different words, is that when I'm hanging out with a guy, I want to give him some of that. Like, I want to hear about his work drama.
And femininity. Like, there's a femininity that you give to them that's like kind of like tender loving care of like, you can be vulnerable with me. And that's the thing. Actually, I was saying this the other day to some friends of like, I do come across as like, people are like, oh, she's a hard nose, like she's like intense and like, tough.
Yeah.
And I'm not tough actually. But if I'm really intimate with somebody, I feel like it's a privilege for them to see my vulnerability and my soft side. And I am very soft and very vulnerable and like delicate.
Yeah.
But that is something I only give, like it's like my heart, and I only put it in like careful hands.
That's
you know
what
I'm
I've been
saying?
working on the last few years. Like, I've had 2 boyfriends now, and the first one, I feel like he just saw this, like, the stand-up comedian side of me. Like, he kind of found me through stand-up and like knew this really big part of my personality, and I was never able to get vulnerable.
You're like,
with him.
I'm this little girl, like little angel.
Yeah,
I'm a little
but
angel.
I was like it was really hard for me to show him that. And when we broke up, I think it was like, he kind of said to me, like, it just never felt serious. It never felt. And then like, I just worked on it for years in therapy and with myself and with my friendships. And then I think my other relationship, I was like so vulnerable and open, and that takes time. But I also think when you are a comedian, you're putting this like person out into the world that is different than who you are when you're just with one person on the couch.
It's a persona. They don't understand that the persona is a character of you, because when you're on stage and they say Taylor P. Miller, that's still you. And so you're doing an amplified version of yourself. Like, think about any sort of musician who goes on stage and it's like, yes, they are the person they are on stage, but they're also performing. So it's going to be an elevated more performative, louder.
And I think some guys are surprised when they hang out with me one-on-one that I'm just like not the person that I am in my Instagram reels.
I'm pretty chill. And it's the thing, even in podcasts, it is such a performative conversation that I think even people go, oh, well, like, this is really who she is. I'm like, no, we're trying to be like entertaining and funny right now and concise.
You wouldn't watch it if it was like
of me being like, blah, 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 blah. What do you think? Blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
So this is also an amplified version of myself.
But mature people get it. Like, I think I don't always date people in the industry, but when I do date someone in the industry, they just get that right away. And I think that when you date a guy who's like a computer job, they're like, well, why aren't you this person? But when you date a guy in the industry, they get it. They've seen performance on and off stage. They're almost expecting it, and that's kind of nice.
That's why I usually only date people that are like in the arts. It doesn't have to be, I've dated a lot of like musicians, like writers, people in it doesn't matter. It's just something creative because they can understand like, oh, there is something that I do to express myself.
Yeah.
That's like,
And the hustle and the grind is like, sometimes I'm like, I want someone not hustling at all because it's so hard if both of us are hustling.
No, if you're not hustling, then I almost feel it's gonna make me hustle less because they're just chilling. And I'm like, oh, I guess I should just chill so I could be on your wavelength. But I'm like, I can't chill.
Yeah, I have that. I have an argument with myself. Like, sometimes I do find it hot when a guy's just like, I work in finance. I just do like his life is very stable because my life is not stable. So then it's like we can come together and like kind of balance each other out in a way where I'm like, let's like do something crazy on a Wednesday night and come to the show with me and whatever. But then it's like, okay, it's nice that you make the same amount of money every 2 weeks.
But those people are still like grinding. Like, I just want somebody who's like successful, like who's like on my like wavelength, who's like, yeah,
it does make a huge difference when you hang out with them. Like, you're like, oh, this is nice. I would usually ask, what are you looking for in a partner? But I feel like you kind of covered that. Gentleman. I mean,
a gentleman. Okay, yeah, I could tell you.
Yeah, keep going.
Somebody who's like open-minded. I think that having a curious mind is something that's extremely important to me, and I do a lot of things with my life, creatively and professionally and whatnot. And I love traveling, and I have like all these different friends and, all over the fucking world and in different, forms of careers and whatnot. And I just want somebody who can like really hold their own and like play ball and is like keep up and like socially like, who's socially dynamic and aware. Like, that's the thing. When you date somebody, they are your representative. And so there is like a social liability element of that. And so I need somebody who's like, hey, this guy is really cool. He's really polite. Like, a man who has good character makes my pussy wet. Like, I don't like the bad boy. I've never understood the bad boy. I need a guy who's like, you're kind, you're polite, you treat people with respect. You are extremely polite to like servers and drivers and whatnot. And you're like a good man. Like, being a good man is something I really look for.
This is something everyone needs to look for.
Yes, but a lot of people don't. And they'll have like these other external things that don't really matter. Like, he needs to be 6'5" and make this much money. I'm like, I don't care about that. If you're sexy to me, that's all you need to be. I just want to meet somebody who's like fucking cool. And I mean cool and like you're comfortable with yourself. Like, you have a good sense of humor. You don't need to be super duper funny, but you need to know what good comedy is and have good taste in it. Yes. I can be the one telling the zingers. That's fine.
I hate when a guy is like showing me YouTube videos that just aren't funny.
Oh, that's
I had a guy show me prank videos.
No.
Such an ick.
That's bad. So somebody who like has a good sense of humor, who is open-minded, fun, wants to have fun, and also just like incredible sex. I just care. Like, that is more, you being hot, don't care. Like, let's have amazing sex.
Let's make magic together.
Let's have amazing sex. Let's have a fucking blast. And yeah, somebody who is a gentleman and, treats me really well. And honestly, wants to like be like a man who's generous. That's a big thing. Being generous, being like, I got your back. I love taking care of you. I love the smile on your face when I like buy you a little gift. I love this, like, that, that to me is like, it's a bit, I think people would also be surprised by this. I'm pretty traditional. So I do like kind of traditional like male female roles in a way. Obviously, like I make my own money and like I'm very independent, but I want a guy to be like, I got this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's
Like
so
I
hot.
got you. It
It's
is
so
extremely
hot.
hot. But it's like that just, again, I will provide things that you want as a man from a woman if you provide me the things that I want a man as a woman. You
Yeah.
know? So it's like there is a reciprocity.
That's
I'm
the
not
perfect way to say
take.
it too. I think that guys can turn that on you and be like, "Oh, you just want me." Like, no, it's like we're doing things for each other that you need, that we need from each other.
I will give you like the comfort that you want,
The comfort
and like
of a woman.
Yes, and the care and the attentiveness and looking out for you and be like, oh, hey, I'm coming home. Can I pick something up for you? Can I do this? Like, what can I do? How can I help?
Yeah.
That sort of stuff.
I'll talk to your mom on the phone and
Yeah, I'll
like,
pick up your fucking sister from the airport. Like, what
Yeah.
do you need? I got your back.
Exactly.
So yeah, something like that. And then just like fucking high sex drive, always like wants to bang. That's kind of
Yeah.
like, cool dude.
I feel the same.
That's kind of it.
So you said
That's my
that
type.
your life is like you do a lot of different things, a lot of endeavors, traveling a lot. Can you talk a little bit about what your life looks like? Like,
Yeah, I've been working all freelance for a very long time now. Gosh.
yeah, when
It's
I
like
met you
7,
like
8
8 years
years,
ago,
yeah.
you were already freelance.
Yeah,
Everything.
yeah, I guess 8 years now, maybe 9. So I'm a DJ, I'm a music curator, so like that's kind of how I make most of my money. I do a lot of like admin now in music, so it's like I make playlists for like very fancy hotels and bars all over the
cool.
country. So
Wow, I didn't know you did that.
yeah,
That's
so
so cool.
I'm a music director. So like, let's say you go into like a really fancy cocktail bar that's like the top of like a fucking luxury hotel, and
yeah.
it's like a gorgeous like, oh, the interior design, oh my god, the lighting, and they have like small bites, and the music, you're like, damn, this is really good. Is this like
So do you
Alice
do like a
Coltrane?
walkthrough and
Yeah, and then I'm like, I see a space, and then I go, okay, and I talk to the client. I'm like, okay, what are we looking for here? You want soul, funk? You want to look more disco? Do you want some kind of like more contemporary, like singer-songwriter artist? Like, what is, And they tell me that, and then I make like a massive like playlist for them.
That's
And I usually
so
hire
cool.
DJs too. So because I hire
maybe
vinyl
I'll have you do
DJs.
that for our singles party. I'll come
I
have
could
you
do, yeah, I do that, but
That'd
I
be
do
really
it for
fun.
a bunch of like bars and venues and luxury hotels. So I am like on my lifestyle looks like I am on my computer a good amount because I have to do, there's a lot of bullshit like, emailing and like Google spreadsheets and fucking all that boring stuff. But I work fully freelance. And then I DJ like 1 to maybe 3 nights a week, usually not even that much, usually at least 1 or 2. And I'm usually done like pretty early. Like I live in New York and it's like I'm not at like the unst DJ.
Yeah.
So it's pretty fun. That's the thing. It's like
I
actually
love your music.
Oh, thank you. But you have like it's like I don't know. Dating me is fun because it's like, hey, like come to this like sick ass club and like
Yeah.
get free bottle service and bring your friends.
Yeah.
It's like it's pretty easy.
Easy sell.
And
I feel
then-
the same way with comedy. I'm like, oh, come to my show,
Yeah.
open bar, like
I got
hang
you.
with the comics.
Bring your
Yeah.
friends.
Yeah.
Like we got you. So yeah, and then stand up. I do probably like 3 shows maybe a week, something like that. But I also like I'll fuck off for a few weeks and like go, to Paris or something. Like so I will travel like and that's a nice thing too about
And
what I do.
when you travel, are you traveling for work or for pleasure or both?
Both. Like a lot of time, like I'll be like, okay, I'm gonna go to Mexico City because I have some like connections there, so I can like DJ a few places, make some money, and then also just kind of establish more connections. Then I'll just go. But I'm usually I'm in Vegas quite a bit because I work for some venues out there, and then San Francisco, LA, and New York primarily though, and then.
Okay.
Yeah, I was in London.
And this is why I say you're my coolest friend.
Oh my God, thank you. I was in London for a few weeks doing a bunch of stand-up, and it was incredible. I want to go back so bad. It was amazing. I had such
so
a blast. So that was like, I wanted to go for like a friend's birthday, and also I'd never been, but I was like, oh, I can just pick up a bunch of comedy shows. I ended up doing, and I got paid really well because it's fucking
They
Europe.
don't have as
so
many comedians there.
They also like pay their artists. Like that's a
Yeah.
big thing in Europe, just in general. Musicians are the same where like if you like do a show in Luxembourg or something, they're like they actually pay you a shit ton of money. Anyway,
Wish it was that way here.
yeah, it doesn't work like that.
Nope,
Entertainment's
not in
like,
LA.
yeah, everyone's like, I'll do it for free.
Yeah.
They're like, I'll pay you to do it.
There's just too many people who want to do it.
Exactly. So yeah, my life is pretty fun. I am pretty busy, but I make my own schedule, so I'm flexible, which is kind
Yeah.
of nice. So I can kind of fit into like a lot of people's schedule because I really make my own. But sometimes I'm like, oh, there's like a deadline. I got deliverables. I got to do this.
Yeah.
But I haven't had a regular
Seems
job
like you
in a long
manage your
time.
time really well.
Yeah, sometimes I am behind on certain things and like spinning a lot of plates. Sometimes you're like, oh fuck, oh shit, I forgot
Yeah.
about that. Okay, cool.
Okay, well, that was Date My Friends with your host, Taylor P. Miller. Tune in for the next guest. And remember to shoot your shot with the lovely Miss Nina Tarr. You can either head to the link in our bio and fill out a Google form to ask her out, or you can follow her. You want to give your Instagram handle or where they can see your next show?
Oh, God, not seeing my next show yet. But Pizza Party 69 is my Instagram handle. That's right. It was my AIM in high school.